Hi everyone, Ires Alliston here, and in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create your course outline in less time than you think. You can probably even do this in less than an hour if you really focus and sit down and map out a plan for you. So today, actually, I had a brief meeting with one of my students, and she is in the financial industry. She is helping women entrepreneurs out there how to create a budget plan for the financial situations right now. So she's really good at what she does. She helps people eliminate their debt, really come up with a game plan for them in order for them to actually start saving, right? And doing all the things that she can to help them. Now, I do want to let you know that, it does take time to do this. It does take a lot of work to do this, but I'm here to tell you that it is possible to do this. It really is, because if I can do it, and if my other students can do it, some of my students actually came to me, they have no knowledge, no prior knowledge on how to create a course, and then also promote that as their premium high ticket offer. And what I mean by that is they start coaching one-on-one, or they start having group coaching. Well, they might have, at least 5 to 10 people in their group, and the student, and you can coach them, right? So you can coach them. So anyway, in this video, I'm just going to quickly share with you my screen, and it's actually my outline that I did for her, okay? Let me go ahead and share my screen. Hopefully you can see that. Close that out. So this is basically the premise and how you can create an outline for your course. And it doesn't matter if you're in the finance industry, if that is your niche or market that you are serving people. It doesn't matter if you're a business coach and you help them start and grow their, let's say, coaching business online. Or it doesn't matter if you are a relationship coach and you help, let's say, couples or married couples on how to have a better and satisfying, relationship, marriage life, and things like that. This right here is an outline of how I teach my students, and then what it does is it gives them a structure and how they can actually start writing things down, start having something online, basically. And for those of you who like to type things online, you can definitely just do this online. Or I know half of you still like to write things down. I do the same thing. I'm half and half. I like to get things online, and I also like to write things right on Notepad. But anyway, the same concept goes on how to do this. And basically, this is what you're going to do. So let's say you already have an idea of a course that you are going to promote or sell to people out there. And it's based from your experience, based from your stories, based from your knowledge and skills that you actually attain over years, that you have, right, that you've gained over the years. So in this premise, I'm going to just show you really quickly on how to do this. So the very first thing is this. And this is not set in stone, right? This is, treat this like a draft, because you're always going to be tweaking. You're always going to be improving what you have. So treat this as your first draft, especially to those who have not even created a course or even a course outline before. This is really going to help you out. So the first thing is this: the title of the course or the program that you are trying to do. So let's say you have, let's say we're going to just keep going with this one. And my student, actually, her name is Deborah, and she's in the financial industry. So for her, we have actually mapped out a plan on how she's going to create a course for her students. All right. So the first thing that we need to figure out is have an idea of a type of title that you're going to have for your course. Have that in mind. And it doesn't matter if you have come up with 5 or 10 at least come up with one title, right? Again, we can always go back and tweak it. We can always go back and figure out which one we actually like and then go from there. Because the thing is, the title is really going to help you structure the rest of your courses or the rest of your modules and lessons and videos and things like that that you want to share, because we are going to be breaking these things down. So just come up with a title for now. So for example, it could be how to eliminate debt, right, in less time than you think. How to eliminate $10,000 personal debt in less time than you think. Something like that, okay? So come up with just a title for now. Again, we can always go back and tweak it and change it and improve upon it. So once you come up with a title, I want you to go ahead, and I should have told you this in the beginning. If you're writing things down, okay, or if you're typing things like what you see here on the screen right now, you can definitely copy what I have. And what it is it's just giving you a framework of how you're going to create your course. So you have the title first, and then you can even have a subtitle if you want to have that, okay, if you want to have that. But the subtitle, with this though, having a title and the subtitle, it can work either way. But the thing is, with a subtitle, once you start putting your course on a learning platform, it really just depends on how long your subtitle is as well as your title. But I typically don't recommend having a subtitle once you start putting this on your learning platform. And what I mean by learning platform is like, the membership program that you have, the membership where the students can actually log in and devour the information that you offer. So this could be, let's say, Teachable learning platform. This could be Maestro. This could be Kajabi. This could be, many, many things, many platforms out there. Coursera. There's so many out there. But the two platforms that I use, one, Teachable, the other one is Maestro, actually. Those are the two platforms that I use. And I started with Teachable. Then recently, well, not recently, about a year and a half ago, I also started using Maestro, and I still use it even to this day. So you can just look that up online and figure out which one you like the best. I started with Teachable long before Maestro, but I kept it there because I have students in both platforms, and I just did not want to merge them over. So anyway, once you have the title, you can move on and you can have, let's say, your lessons or weeks. Well, before you even do that, I want you to come up with a plan and try to figure out how long you're going to actually teach your students. And what I mean by that is, are you going to be teaching them for the next 6 weeks, the next 8 weeks, the next 12 weeks, right, 3 months, or even the next 6 months? It really is depending on the type of program that you're going to create. Because as long as you can provide the value, right, for your students and your clients, as long as you're able to help them from point A and all the way to point B, right, from point A to point B, and addressing their concerns, addressing their struggles, and then helping them overcome those struggles, overcome those problems that they have, right? They want to eliminate debt. Well, how are you going to do that? Can you do that and provide value for the next, let's say, 30 days or for the next 8 weeks, right? However that looks like for you. Some people in the fitness industry, they like to do it with between 8 to 9 weeks, right? Some of my students in the fitness industry, they do it in 12 weeks. While I have another fitness expert, and she does it only for 6 weeks. So you've got to think of that way when it comes to how many lessons and how many weeks you are going to be teaching your ideal clients and your customers, right? I'll leave that up to you. If you need help with that, I actually have a course on that, and where I really break down on how long you're supposed to be, teaching your students. But that's the idea of it. That's the basic concept. So let's say you want to teach them for the next 8 weeks, right? I mean, that's that's pretty much standard. Let's say for the next 8 weeks, that's 2 months, that's 60 days. Okay, well, every single week, if you are going to be providing them a lesson or every single week, well, I want you to write it down. Either you can either title it as lessons, or you can title it as week 1, 2, 3, all the way to week 8. Or you can even title it as module 1 all the way to module 8, because we're doing this for 8 weeks, right? 60 days. So in that regard, once you have that broke down, where you have, let's say, module 1 all the way to module 8, I want you to also think about how many sub-lessons you're going to have within those modules. And what I mean by that is, let's say for each module that you have, and you have come up with a title, how many sub-lessons are you going to be teaching? And the sub-lessons could be a video. It could be a combination of videos where you can come on and you teach them online, right? Just like this, you come on camera and you can teach them with the things that you want to actually teach them with. And you can even have the camera off if you want to, and you can just share PowerPoints like this, right? I choose to do both. That's just me. I do both sometimes. I turn off my camera and I just specifically focus on my PowerPoint, and then I talk over it, or I'll have both my camera and then my PowerPoint showing. It really depends on how you deliver your program, okay? It really is. It's your preference. In my experience, though, I'd like to actually target and accommodate for all those different learning modalities. And what I mean by that is, some people, you're going to have some percentage of people who like to watch things. So they like that visual aspect, right? They like to see you. They like to see what's going on online, especially if you're presenting something, you're sharing a PowerPoint, then definitely get on camera if that's, if you like that. Definitely do that. Again, if you don't want to be on camera, so all you have to do is share your PowerPoint and you can go from there, right? So that's that, the visual aspect of that. Well, the other part is, some people like to hear, just they're very auditory, meaning that they like to listen. So guess what? With the videos and you're recording and things like that, you're also talking, right? You're also sharing your idea. Well, you have that accommodated, so to speak, because you're also having the auditory aspect to your learning platform, to your course, right? So that's the second component to that. And the third one is, some people like to write, kinetic. So in that regard, for that percentage of consumers out there, what I'd like to do is, I like to give them also either my presentation, my PowerPoint, or better yet, for the most part, I actually just come up with 1 to 2 or even 3 pages worth of worksheet based on that module, based on that week, if you want to do that. I typically just have like a 1-page worksheet for that module. Now, there are times that I might have more than 1 page. It just depends on how many sub-lessons I have, or how many things, however I have that structured. Whatever that is for you, just give them something, and that way they can download it and they have it there handy, and then they could just, write whatever notes that they want to write on that worksheet. That's basically how it is. Don't make it too complicated. Don't have all your notes on the worksheet, right? Think about it when you were in high school or college. You know how our professors, our teachers would give us assignments. There are times that the paper will just be fill in the blank, right? They have a question there. It's like number 1, you'll see a question, and then they'll have a spot where we can just fill in the blank or fill in our information or our answers. You can just create a really simple worksheet, right? Just keep it simple. You can use Google Doc even. You can even use your Word document if you want to do that. Or you can use Canva. I actually prefer Canva because that's my go-to online tool that I use, where I can create worksheets. I create my social media profiles. I create my postings and things like that, my graphics, my videos, and so all sorts of things using Canva. That's C-A-N-V-A, like Canvas without the S, canva.com. And, so I use that tool as well. Anyway, so let me go back to this. So think of, for module one, so week one, obviously you're going to have a title. Let's say the very first one could be, telling them that you can start out with some mindset, right? Mindset video, mindset lesson. You can, again, you can be on camera, or if you prefer not to be on camera, you can just do a PowerPoint and just type in whatever information you have there. You read through it and share that slides, right? So the first one, let's say the module one or video one, week one, you can just talk about the mindset and really reminding them that they can do this too. Really remind them that you have been there just like them and you figured out a way on how to do things better over time, right? Like you've learned to whatever that is, you've learned how to overcome that challenge, that pain point, whatever that was that you were actually experiencing at that time or even currently experiencing today, but you're able to figure things out. You're able to create a plan. You're able to solve that problem. Well, you can definitely create a video on that and just let them know that they can do this too. Remind them that the possibilities out there are there if they just follow the plan, and let them know what they're going to expect for the next 8 weeks, right? Let them know what's going to happen. What are they going to achieve by the end of 8 weeks, even before that, right? So that could be your module one or week one course right there. And you can come up with something else if you want that, but that's just an idea. So with that, so you go to sub-lessons 1, 2, 3, however sub-lessons you have. With that one, you can just, basically the sub-lessons can be really short, not too short, right? Not too short, but enough information there where people can actually devour your information and they keep going, they keep moving forward. So when you're done with sub-lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however, how many that is for you, and I only recommend between 3 to 5 on week one. That way they're not getting too overwhelmed with a lot of information, right? So just really keep it short as well. If you're going to do videos, I recommend between 5 to 10 minute video. Sometimes I only do like 3 minutes video and that's it. It really depends on the content that I want to share for that week. Once you figure that out, then you move on to module 2. Same concept. Have the idea, have the topic that you want to talk about, and then break it down to sub-lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you repeat the process for module 3 or week 3 or lesson 3, however you want to title that, however you want to structure that, and then having the title or theme or topic that you want to teach for week 3. And then you keep moving forward, as long as you go all the way to week 8, because remember in the beginning, we have actually, for this example, we're creating an 8-week program for this. So for that, you just keep going until you have week 8. That's basically how it is. So you might be asking, it's like, well, how does that look like? Well, right here, I'm going to show you how it looks like, really. This is just an overview, okay? This is an overview on how to do it. So as you remember, I'm helping one of my students, Deborah, and she is in the financial management industry, in the finance industry. So we have come up with, 2 examples here on how to title her course outline, actually. And also it's going to become her signature program. And what I mean by that is her flagship program, where she can start teaching people either one-on-one coaching or either group coaching, right? Where basically not only she has this online course that she can give to her students, but students also hire her to teach them, right, these concepts either live in group coaching, like live sessions like this on Zoom or Skype, however that is for you. And they meet every single week, maybe even once a week. I do it once a week, and I teach my students at least 90 minutes every single week, and we go through the process. I give them assignments, and then we meet the following week again. And then, but in between, they actually have a way to contact me just in case they have any questions. You can provide them with some type of community support, like create like a Facebook group support and have other people in there. So you're building that community, right? As well as you provide them with the course here that you can have already set up on your learning platform, like the Teachable and Maestro, like I mentioned earlier, like even Kajabi, and have these outlined here already uploaded to your learning platform. And that way you can just let them know, well, they have access to this, you give them the information and go from there. All right, so let's get back to this. So these are the two examples that I have as far as the titles, right, that we have came up with. Again, she's probably going to change this, and I highly recommend that she does that. That way it really resonates with her, and it resonates with her audience, the target market that she's trying to help, right? So the first title that we have for the course is Personal Financial Management, Eliminate $10,000 personal debt in less time than you think. Okay, that's one. Or the second option could be 4 easy steps to get out of personal debt without creating more budget work. And the reason I have this is because not a lot of people they don't like to create a budget, right? Or they feel like even if they are trying to save and they're having to come up with budget, they feel sometimes that they're constrained, right? They're restricted on doing the things they really want to do. So in this regard, she's also helping people that just because you're creating a budget doesn't mean that you can't have fun at the same time. It's like, and then at the same time, it's like, you're not creating more work because, a lot of people out there, they think that this is going to take more time, more work, and it's not fun. It's not fun. So she's got an angle there that she can really master and, teach her clients with. So how do I teach my students how to somewhat create a formula to, create their headline or their title? Well, I have this, and I've learned this from many experts out there too. So to me, it not only resonates, but it really, really works. So what I have is I titled it Your Headline Formula, and it goes something like this. It's really simple. So this is the formula: how to achieve or get something they want, right? How to eliminate debt, how to lose weight, how to live a happy life, however that is for you, right? How to achieve or get something that they want without fill in the blank, things they want to avoid, without doing the things, those activities that's more work or they're not happy about, right? They don't want to do those things. So those are the things they want to avoid. Some of the examples too sometimes is not because it's just not only activities, but it could be something about emotional aspect to it. And what I mean by that is perhaps they don't want to do something because they're scared to do something, right? They're fearful of something, or they're worried about something, or they have anxiety over something. And this could be some emotional situation in that regard. So you can definitely also use that angle if you want to do that, and then go from there. So here we go. Here, I'm just going to quickly go over how to create your premium course outline again. But in this case, we actually have an example. Again, we're just going to continue on with Deborah's example. So as I alluded to earlier, I have the very first module or lessons, however you want to actually structure your program. I actually, highly recommend that they really start with the mindset. Again, it's really letting your students, letting your clients know that they can do this too, okay? And you also remind them that it's not going to happen overnight. Success doesn't happen overnight. I know many of you know that, I heard that statement, but it's going to take time and effort and work on their part to make this successful. It's not going to happen overnight, right? And the thing is too, if you are that coach, if you're that consultant, right, teaching them how to achieve something, no matter how much information you share, no matter how much support and guidance that you share, if your clients, if your students are not taking actions, they're not implementing, they're not applying what they've learned, they're not moving the needle, if you will, then nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to change. So you have to remind them that it does take work, and it really depends on the effort that they have, they're going to see results, right? It's just the way it is. So you can definitely start with that. Again, you can have more sub lessons along the way if you want to add more to that. But that's how I do my welcome video. Okay, that's how I do it. Now with that one, the next one is going to be module 1. Again, it could be week 1, lesson 1, however that is for you. So for this one, I just said, I'm just used to saying module 1. It's just the way I have my course structured. But with this one though, module 1, setting goals and expectations. All right, so as you can see, it ties into what I have before. It's about mindset for the welcome video, right? So now I can have this opened up on the same day, because this right here is a welcome video. So you can have that right off the bat when people actually log into the membership site. Again, learning platform, you have this available right away. And then week 1, module 1, you also can have this available right at the same time as well. Now, I know this is advanced features here, but some platforms out there, you have 2 choices on how to do this, okay? As far as opening some of your courses to your students, the first option is you can open this up. Let's say, let me go back. Let's say you have all your courses uploaded on the learning platform. You have from week 1 to week 8, and you have all your materials. You have your presentation, you have your slides, you have your, let's say, audio if you want to have that. You have your worksheets, assignments loaded, everything on the learning platform. Where you can choose to have, the first option you can have is you can make it available where all your lessons from week 1 to week 8 are available for everybody to see, to devour right away. And what I mean by everybody, the people who actually pay for your course, right? People who have access to your course. You can have that available. That's the first option. Or the second option could be you can have it dripping, right? In other words, you can have week 1 as available now. Let's say the second they actually have access, you granted them access to your course, you can have it available then. And in week 2, you can set it up where it will drip the content, or it will open that content after 7 days, if you want to do that. Or after 5 days, after 3 days even, if you want to give them a delay, that you're delaying how your courses are going to be delivered to them, you can do that. That way your students have enough time to study and devour the information that you have given them for that current week. And then they have a space, they have a gap of a few days before you open up another module, okay? A lot of people actually like that, and a lot of my students do that, because especially if they have so much value to give and they have so many information to give, well, they choose it that way. Well, let me also tell you this though. This is a strategy that a lot of them do as well, because for a lot of them, I help actually new coaches and consultants who have never had an experience creating an online course or a premium course. Well, the thing is, I teach them also to be strategic in this, okay? I teach them not to have to create the entire course in one sitting, okay? Now, the caveat to this is you can actually create the entire course outline, and what I mean by that is having the, your welcome title, having your week 1 title, and then some sub lessons, and then the topics. Just write them down from week 1 to week 8. Just write it down on a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be perfect. At least just get things out of your head, because you're not only brainstorming, right? I just don't want you to get overwhelmed, because as you know, we have so much talent, we have so much skills and experience out there, and we just oftentimes, a lot of women entrepreneurs that I work with, and I do it myself, we just want to give everything. We want to give everything, right? And we don't want to do that, because number one, it's going to overwhelm us. Okay, it's really going to overwhelm us. Number two, the thing is, some of the things that we might think that are great, some ideas, might not be resonating with our target audience. Those are the things, they might not need the things that we thought or believe they can actually, benefit from. So you've got to do a little bit of intel. You've got to do a little bit of, what I mean by that is do some research out there to figure out what your target audience really, really want. Instead of you having to come up with an entire course and then all of a sudden you put it out there, you promote it, and then no one likes it, no one buys, no one, it's crickets. No one commented, nothing. But the thing is, you've already created the program and you wasted your time and then your energy creating something that people did not want. They don't like it, right? So with this one though, and I know that's a little bit more advanced training to that, is that's being smart about that, is not having to create the entire course. So what I tell my students is you can drip the content every 5 to 7 days. While you do that, while you have, let's say, week 2, that's not going to open up until 5-7 days from today, let's say, because let's say today is the first week. Well, guess what? During that time frame, while they're waiting for the next course, week 2, you could be working on your week 2 because you already have week 1 already created and they're able to access that right now, right? The second they have access to the student portal, they have the information there because you've already created week 1 and the modules and the lessons and the worksheets. You have that online. That's all you have to do. Well, in the meantime, right, you're gathering intel, you're asking people out there on your social profiles, let's say Facebook and things like that, just ask them a simple question. And even Facebook groups, I'm creating a course, what would you like to know? Or you can even introduce an idea and just post it out there like a question or a survey or a poll or something like that. Just get people's feedback and then go from there. Once you have a good feedback, then you have an idea to create your week 2 lesson. So between that time frame, that gap, while your students are just on week 1, you are thinking, you are curating, you're creating week 2 plan, week 2 lessons, and you repeat the concept. You can do the same thing again for, let's say week 2 opened up, then you could be working on week 3 and so forth and so forth. Just repeat the process. At the same time, you're gathering intel. You're researching, you're making sure that what you're creating is actually resonating to your ideal clients, and that's something that they're looking for, okay? Something they're looking for. Now, be careful though. This is a tricky part, is make sure that week 1, 2, 3, and 4 and the lessons together all align. They have to make sense, right? They have to make sense from week 1 to week 2 and 3 and 4. I just don't want you creating an idea on week 1 and this is the topic for that, and then week 2 you're creating a different topic and it has nothing to do with week 1 or for the rest of your course. Okay, so that's important right there. Just make sure that you're thinking ahead when it comes to creating an online course, but at the same time making sure that they're aligned, that they match, right? They make sense basically. So you do that. So module 2, same concept here, and I just gave you an example here. She can talk about setting budget plans, and then she has the sub lessons 1, 2, and so forth, right? And the same concept right here, module 3, and you go on until you're done with module 8. Again, you're just creating this outline. You don't even have to have all the sub lessons. At least have the title, okay, of your program. Have the welcome video, have an idea of what you're going to say, and then have the topic title for week 1 all the way to week 8. And then if you can, go ahead and start planning out the sub lessons if you want to do that. Especially on the welcome video on week 1, I highly recommend you have that, at least create it, right? And then you can worry about week 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 later down the road and create that as you go along, okay? So that really is a good strategy for a lot of, let's say, new coaches and consultants out there, especially who has no idea on how to actually structure this their course outline. So definitely, try that. I've just given her some topics here that she can definitely use. So yeah, and that's it. I hope this is helpful for you. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment below and let me know. And then I'll get back to you as soon as possible, or in my team. I do have a free training for coaches and consultants out there who actually are ready to grow their business or even start a business, and then also create their very first signature program. I do have a free training. I'm going to go ahead and also drop that below this video. Go ahead and click on that. It's free. And I have like I think 30 minutes to 45 minutes worth of training right there inside this this module inside this training, this workshop that I'm about to give you. So go ahead and take advantage of that. It's free, but you're going to learn more strategies there that can really help you elevate your business to another level. All right, everyone, this is Ires Alliston, and I help coaches and consultants get leads and get more clients without having to sell to their families and friends.